Welcome to P3 Radio.
The monkey only dances as good as the guy grinding the organ handle.
Brother.
I fly, bro. That is never stopping.
Truck goes to Dwayne.
Cool story, bro.
Footy pajamas.
Hey, genius, it's 2 p.m. Central.
PG3 Radio.
Here's your host, Josh Riley.
Get him off big, Freddy.
Get him on big. Richard Mullican.
And as I put you down, my pants ripped.
It's showtime! It's showtime! It's showtime!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of P3 Radio. I'm Richard Mullican, joined by my co-host, the man that is the lover of women old enough to be his mother, and best friend, Josh Briley. Say hey, Josh.
Well, how's it going, everybody? And Richard,
Yes.
how are you today, my hyper-focused friend?
Doing pretty good. Actually, I just said it before we started the mics here, Josh. This is our 3-year anniversary. Just by simple math, this is the first show of the new season, of year 3.
The new season, we're doing it by seasons.
Yes.
I absolutely hate when fucking
I thought you were gonna
podcasts
say
do
me.
that. Well, after what I just went through, yes, I do hate you a little bit. But I hate it when podcasts do that because it fucks up the way that it shows you, at least on the Apple Podcast app or whatever.
Right.
And, like JR's show on my feed, it goes from like season 1, season 2, season 3. But evidently they've added some crap, and it presents it in a way to where if you want to find something, you just got to go to the front page and hope that today is still
Right.
there. And if not, it may show you one from March something, and then you just have to go search.
Yeah.
Don't ever do that.
Well, no, I won't do the seasons. I'm like you. Just do a number. Like,
Easy.
it's easier.
Easy
That way you
peasy.
don't have to start over on numbers again. But no, 3-year anniversary, man. Like, we've been at this now for a full 3 years. That's crazy to think. Like, a lot of podcasts don't make it past like 9 or 10 episodes. And then they
you're going off of what a gentleman told you.
Well, I mean, if you look at some podcasts, like how long did the Ric Flair podcast last? How long did the Roddy Piper podcast last? You know
Now,
what I
I
mean?
could tell you why that one ended, but
Piper or Flair?
both.
Oh. But I mean, honestly, think about how many people say, well, I got a podcast now.
Yeah.
And you go to listen to it and there's nothing there. It's like, well, this hadn't been updated in 6 months.
Right.
And you ask, when y'all going to put out a new episode? Or if you have their Twitter or something, they're like, oh, we will. I don't know.
Eventually.
Eventually we'll get
After
one
my
out.
hiatus.
Yeah, I mean, how many people have taken a hiatus? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it
I've seen on social media.
yeah.
I've seen it.
people going, hey, I'm back from my break. We're going to release an episode. Oh, Steve Austin's even done it.
Really?
Yeah, Steve Austin had a, if you were to go to his channel, like for a while, it was like the best of Steve Austin, which makes sense if you're a radio show to have a best of.
Yeah.
Because if you're a radio show, people don't hear those clips all the time. Well, if you're doing a best of for a podcast, really all you have to do is go, hey, go back to episode 4. Thanks for listening. You know
I was in the mood. Won't you some bitches go back to episode 4?
Yeah.
I cussed the some bitch out on live air. Called him at his house. What? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. What?
We had a fun time in Florida.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well,
Kind of a fun time. Everything there was trying to kill us.
Yeah.
Except for Corona, apparently.
I told you it would be that way.
Well, I think you were more concerned
One
about
way
the
or another.
virus. But yeah.
But that, I mean, I don't want to be like Randy Travis, but I told you so.
Was that him that sang
But
that?
you had to go.
I actually had a good time, though. We did mostly just sit in the house and do nothing.
So you could have done it here.
We played, well, no. There's distractions here. You know what I mean? Like, families around every corner. So if somebody's off here for too long, like for a couple of hours, and they notice some cars out there just sitting, somebody's going to call us to do something. You know what I mean?
Oh, God.
And it's not just her family, it's my family too. You know, somebody is going to interrupt us or do something to, make us leave what we're doing of nothing and together. You know what I mean? Like,
Hey, maybe you can come help me clean out my closet.
well, like one of the things me and my wife's been doing, like that we did last week and while we were in Florida, was play cards. Like we hadn't done that in forever, but it was like we've kind of gotten to this little kick now to where we play cards, and then it makes it interesting if you wager something on it. So you wager things in the card games, and it gets real. Like you're playing rummy. You've played rummy before, haven't you? It'll piss you off, man. Like you deal a hand and she gets one card and goes out, and you're like, motherfucker, I'm never going to get past this. And we've discovered anytime we bet, she starts winning immediately. I had like a 300-point lead on her one night, and she was like, all right, I'll bet with you. And she came back with like 2 hands. That's how serious the game was. But no, dude, everything there, the first day we got there, we went to the store and got all our groceries. We wore masks the entire time, everywhere we went, except for the beach, because nobody was like, really the closest person on the beach was like 30 yards from you. Like we were on a private area, like that our condo.
I wouldn't have expected anything less from you.
Well, the condo
Mr.
that we
Mulligan.
stayed in had a private area that we could go on. It wasn't like the public beach, so we never really got close to anybody. We wore masks everywhere we went.
Masks.
Masks.
I
Masks.
thought you said you wore masks.
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 What is a mast? Isn't that on a boat?
No, that's like yeah, I guess so.
Don't say, damn, y'all were serious about
Yeah.
that boat life.
Well, we wore masks everywhere, and like my daughter, who's about to be 8 in a couple of weeks, she was like, I was so proud of her, dude. Like every time we got back to the condo, she was like, all right, got to go wash my hands, like immediately. You know what I mean? It's like she's very aware too. So we, the only thing about it though, dude, the second day after we got there was a tropical storm or something coming through Texas, and the waves were, oh my God. Like, so Monday and Tuesday they were fine. We go out to the beach around 5:00 at night and just kind of, enjoy the sunset. It was cooler. There's wind blowing, not hot as balls. So Wednesday we went out there, and I took 2 steps into the ocean, right? And there was like a 12-foot wave that crashed into me. And then like 2 seconds later, another 12-foot wave crashed into me. And I was like, shit. But what made it really bad was when they crash in to the land, they pull back out. So I was getting like pulled back into the ocean.
I'm aware of
basically.
how waves work.
Yeah, but I'm saying like when you have that many going that so like I told my daughter, I was like, you can't go more than like 10 feet in. Like you just can't do it. They're just too strong. I don't want you getting taken out there. She had a floaty on, but I was like, I don't want you getting taken out. Just stay right here. And so we kind of got tired of like getting just destroyed by the waves.
having to call the lifeguard to rescue the kid and whatnot.
But dude, I got back to the condo that night. We had dinner. My wife went to bed, and I'm sitting there looking through Facebook, and I see a news article 1 mile down the road, 1 mile west of us. There was a DeSoto County sheriff that was part of their search and rescue team, strong swimmer, went out to save his son who looked like he was in some trouble, was 10-year-old, got him back to where the son could walk and get back to the beach, and then the current just took him out, and they found him. And this was around the same time we were there. But like I said, a mile down the road. We heard the ambulances. We heard that they have fire trucks that do health checks and stuff like that too. So like we heard all of the ambulances, like, man, somebody must have gotten hurt. Well, then Saturday and Sunday it was kind of calming down, and we watched this guy like float out in the ocean, and he was on a boogie board, and he got past, those, how the
I
waves.
love that. For some reason, that tickles the
boogie
shit
board?
out of me. Every time I hear somebody call it that.
That's what it's called.
I
It's called
know.
a boogie board.
I don't know why. I guess I just think of Jimmy Valiant or something.
Boogie woogie board.
Boogie woogie board,
Like
baby.
that's his name for a keyboard.
Woo,
I'm on
mercy.
my boogie board here. The boogie woogie man boogie boarded.
A boogie board. A boogie woogie board.
So he was on a boogie board, and he was like way out in the ocean to where you have the big waves that come in kind of close to the coast, and then after you get past them, there's not a lot of waves out there in the major part of the ocean. So
You're not supposed to go that far.
you're not supposed to go that far. And he was out there, and he was with a group of people, and they were kind of looking at him. He was waving, and I was like, they were waving back to him like, "Hey, you gonna come in?" And he's like moving his hand like, "Come here." And they were like, no, we ain't going out that far. And so his two of his friends come back onto the ocean, like from the ocean to the beach. And I go, hey, is your friend in trouble out there? And he goes, huh? And I said, he doesn't look like he's doing well. Like, it looks like he's struggling. And he's like, well, I don't know. And like, hadn't even occurred to him. I'm like, it looks like he was waving somebody out there. Like, I can't go because I can't swim. It's like, but I'm telling you, something's up with that. And I was like, and a guy just died down the road like 3 days ago. And they're like, what, really? I was like, yeah, the current. It's strong out there. So about this time, this guy comes up with this huge upper body. He's like 5'8", though. But he's got this huge upper body, and he's got this floating raft. He's like, is he having a hard time getting back in?
Excuse me.
And they were like, I don't know. So he just takes off. Beats the lifeguards there and everything. Lifeguards ain't even around. He swims out there basically.
His little half pint Aston.
Yeah.
Motorized his arm.
Yeah. He said he got out there to him and said he asked him, said, are you okay, man? He's like, my legs are gone. He's like, I can't kick anymore. He's like, well, can you hold on? He's like, yeah. He's like, well, hold on to my raft. And he held on, and dude, it took forever. Like, even on the raft, like, he paddled and paddled and paddled and finally got back to where the current, they were like 150 yards down the beach when he finally got to where the waves were breaking again. It's like, that's how hard he was having to fight to get them pulled back. And then finally the lifeguards come out there. It's like, we saw a guy get rescued. It rained like almost every day, which the rain ain't a big deal, but lightning on a beach where it's wide open. Yeah, you don't want to be out there. So, but no, dude, it was nice just to kind of chill. Now, the coolest thing was on the way down there, we stopped at my wife's cousin's place that they're at. And it's this old person's mansion, basically, that they're renting out. And when I say mansion, it's like, I took the pictures and sent them to you. It's like 4 bedroom, 5 bedrooms upstairs.
You know, a fucking garbage dump.
Yeah.
Compared to what I'm used to.
And I told
But it was
you,
just a stop in Mississippi, so.
Yeah, I told you in BT. No, it was in Alabama. It was in Birmingham.
Oh, well, either way.
No, Montgomery, Alabama. It was like one of these big houses that, I mean, it's in Alabama, so you know what to think when you see it.
What are you saying, Richard?
There's some, yeah. Anyways, I remember sending you and BT a message going, if I don't get a ghost story here, y'all are full of shit. And I didn't get a ghost story.
You're probably hyper focused on fucking I don't know. You already found the Silk Stockings episode at that point.
He left it 60-something degree, like 65 degrees.
You kind of got to be loose, Richard.
They had
to
paintings on the wall. I showed you the paintings. They had paintings of
Fucking
themselves.
creepy.
Yeah.
Creepy.
Yeah, like big, large paintings on the wall. Like, when I say large, I'm talking like 4 foot by 3 foot paintings
Like
of themselves.
Yeah, legit rich motherfucker shit.
Yeah, with lights. Like, the painting had a light attached to it.
Like, you know, in a museum and shit.
Right. So, but I mean,
That's fucking bizarre,
Yeah.
man. Like, I've never been to somebody's house where they had the lighting on the fucking portrait and all that shit.
Yeah. Dude, it was just really, it was nice though. I mean, it was a nice house. It was just really kind of like, you wouldn't want to be there by yourself.
What were the cousin doing? What was the cousin doing there?
The woman had just passed away. The family had the house and they didn't want to sell it right yet. So when they found out that they were having to travel from like an hour away to get to work, to get to that city, they were like, well, we've got a house. We'll rent it to you. So they're renting them the house, you know, on a month by month basis. But
that utility bill though has got to be
Yeah.
a fucking murderer.
it's pretty high. That's what they told us. Like, the utility bill's pretty high. But and he likes it really cold. Like, you know how I am and how cold natured I am. Like, I love it cold. It was 65 downstairs the whole time we were there. And I was like, I was cold. I was like, fuck. Can we get a blanket? But
you ain't got any spare ponchos for the
Right.
guests, do you?
Can we light up a fire in one of these 4 fireplaces? And when I say fireplaces, the fireplace was as big as that wall, and one of them had like a gas stove in it. And like, dude, this place was huge. It was nice, but yeah, no ghost stories in that one. I tell you, we talked about it last week, Josh, and I don't know if you want to do that now or you want to wait.
What?
This clip we have pulled up here.
No.
You don't want to do it
Let's
right now?
do it right now.
You want to do it right now? So we talked.
Let's get it out.
So
Let's spunk it out.
We talked about this last week, silk stockings, and I told you there was this one episode
Oh my
that
God.
sparked in my head as a kid because I'd never heard the word popper before. Like, I still don't know what it is. It's some kind of sexual
Something
enhancer.
that sticks out to me though.
Yeah. But I remember telling you there was this episode where this woman was like seducing this old man playing tennis.
And look, you've got it pulled up and paused here to the part you want to watch. If you're this guy,
Yeah.
do you not know something's up when this fucking fine ass chick is wanting to hang around you and
Well, no,
possibly? I mean, is she a prostitute?
No, she's just a girl. Like, well, you know, how many times do you see it now where a young girl is dating an older rich guy?
But if you're this guy, I mean, do you think he's in on it? Like, well, it's my money.
Yeah, I mean, you got to know that the older people like this that have these relationships got to know. Like,
How could you be comfortable with that though?
well, look at it this way. There's a documentary my wife was watching the other day on the one of these really powerful music producers. I can't remember his name, but he's married to that Catherine McPhee. She's the one that was like on American Idol, and she's like on Broadway now.
You got me. I
She's
don't know.
our age, and he's like damn near 60. Like in the documentary, he's talking about, I've got 15 more summers left. He's like,
That is depressing as a
yeah,
motherfucker.
he's like, that's what I'm looking at, you know. And he's a good artist. He's playing music, and he's like discovered, like, I think he was the one that discovered Celine Dion. He was the one that kind of discovered what's that guy's name? I still haven't met you yet. Michael Bublé.
I guess.
He discovered like all these guys. He was the one that basically that laid out the format for that Whitney Houston.
I've got 15 summers left.
Yeah.
Like, that is so fucking
Yeah,
depressing
to
when you
think
put
about
it like that, dude.
It's like I probably got like 15. So that's what he said in the documentary. I got 15. Well, he's got kids that are like older than his now wife.
it's
And
not a good look.
Yeah, and he was like on like the first season of not Desperate Housewives, Housewives of one of the counties.
Atlanta.
No, not Atlanta. It was like Orange County. Anyways, he was on the first season, and his
Little people, Atlanta.
Little Americans, Little Americans.
My wife
in
used to watch
Atlanta.
that shit, dude. For real.
Oh,
Little
yeah?
people,
Big
Atlanta.
World. Oh, was it Little People, Big World, or was it?
No, it was fucking from Atlanta. It was like Little People of Atlanta or some shit like that.
Huh.
It was like a show with little short Americans from Atlanta.
But no, I mean, we found the clip like right before I went to. If you listen to Before the Mics, we talked about it, and then the clip that I found, Josh, was deleted. So after we kind of wrapped Before the Mics, I spent.
Now you're undercutting something
Yeah.
here. You're still leaving meat on the bones
All
as
right,
you're
go ahead.
chopping it off. We spent like 20 fucking minutes on Before the Mics looking for this
Yeah.
shit. The same thing we did last time on Before the Mic. And then you stopped the recording.
Tune in to Before the Mics next week where we try to find a specific Jetsons episode.
Then what do? You stop the recording of Before the Mics.
After we were done.
And then you spend like an hour.
I didn't spend an hour. It was like
45
25
minutes.
Probably 45 all total. Because I thought it was in season 3 and it was in season 4. Thank God for IMDb. IMDb like had it pretty much calculated out. But if you're looking for this and want to see
But it was funny. You'd be like, I swear to God, it's Love 15 episode
yeah,
3 on season 6 or whatever it was.
So I think I still have the synopsis pulled up, right? Or the whatever it's called. Maybe there's a one down here. A jealous son is suspected in the murder of his wealthy and domineering father. So if you want to see this clip, it's Silk Stocking season 4, episode 6.
Bookmark it, bitch.
And it starts about 8:14. So yeah, let's see it, Josh. We'll talk about it here. We'll describe it if you're not going to watch along. This guy playing tennis with somebody, and there's this girl like doing like the Thigh Master thing behind him. She keeps like
She looks like
She's doing that-
she could
the
be
butterfly,
in a
that's
Motley
old.
Crue video back in the 80s or something with her
I
actions.
should be impressed.
She is hot, by
But
the
I'm
way.
not too surprised.
Now, why is that?
Because I already know you have a nice, steady stroke.
Well. Well.
And he's out of breath already from hitting the tennis ball like 7 times.
And it wasn't him playing with somebody. It was just the ball machine.
Right.
Shooting him to him.
And he was just like, and he was standing in one spot.
Yep.
Hitting the ball back.
He is
He's like,
winded as fuck. I think that she worked at a medical facility.
yeah. She was
And
his
she
nurse.
knew, like, his previous history.
Yeah.
Because she knew damn well how to kill him.
Yeah.
whenever
Well,
it
don't get ahead
happens.
of us, Josh. So now they're kissing on the tennis court. And she grabs his balls. Looks like.
Do I detect interest?
Now, we've said that Silk Stockings is just a porn without the porn,
It's
right?
action pay-per-view without the tits.
without the nudity.
Yep.
And,
That's all it is.
Okay, let's see here.
After all that exercise?
Let's go check your return of serve.
Good God.
He looks like a guy that would either A, sell you some insurance,
Yeah.
or B, sell you a car somewhere.
This was 1995, Josh. I want to say, 95. So I was probably about to be I was a 6th grader at the time. More than likely in the fall of the night. So 6th grade. You can see why this would have done it for me, right?
I mean, you never know. It
The
might.
next week. I don't know what's wrong with him. He's been out there serving a tennis ball under the wall.
You get laid if you play tennis. I seen it on the USA.
You got to do it for a while too, because this guy was old. He's out of breath like me, but I'm just fat.
You got it.
So now they're kissing again. She's in like a spandex top. Now
Not
they're
anymore.
in the bedroom.
No more. She's not.
Now they're in the bedroom and she's on top of him, but she's got her bra and panties on. So he might be
Now
naked.
maybe she's just doing the microwave to
Oh.
where he's really up in them junks.
Oh,
but she's just got it pulled to the side. But
maybe
you can't
so.
see that.
Maybe so. Well, she pulled out a pair of handcuffs, Josh, and she's handcuffing him above the headboard.
Now,
Do you
him
ever
being
feel-
old,
Yeah.
wouldn't that already disrupt his blood flow? Because
Like,
she's
I can't
put-
keep my hands above my heart.
darling, you just got my hands up here and they're already asleep. Like, we're gonna have to lower them or something.
Wait, have you ever been comfortable being handcuffed, Josh?
No.
No. I tell you what really is what really was the deterrent for me at a young age. That sounds bad.
It's like when they shove the baton up your ass.
Yeah.
That's when it really makes you want to maybe I shouldn't break the law anymore.
When I was younger, you're showing me basic instinct. Killed any desire to want to be having my hands above my head tied up. That's why my headboard's solid. It's cushioned.
It will never
Not even bolted
ever
in.
happen to me.
Yeah.
Now, I'm in charge.
He said, ooh.
You can go 3 straight sets.
Okay, come on with the tennis puns. Now you can see why I thought this was a tennis one. Like, why isn't this one called 15 Love?
So
or
that's
something?
why everybody would leave when you would put on Mario Tennis on the 64 because you would start doing these puns.
Start grabbing the Jergens and pulling my pants down. Y'all can stay if you want to.
But it's love 15 for me, guys. I'm going to get that long stroke in next round.
What are you trying to do? Kill me?
That needs to be a sound drop on our board. What are you trying to do? Kill me?
No, baby. I'm just gonna give you a taste of heaven.
So she's on top of him. And still, you could see from that angle there was nothing going on. She's just on top of him.
But she's insinuating that they've had sex, and this will be number 3.
Maybe. Yeah, I guess so. So she pulls something out of her bra.
And she pulls the damn dog dewormer out of her pocket.
Yes! Yes!
So she puts something in his mouth.
How did he immediately know
No, I can't. My heart.
It could have been like a package of that. What it looked like to me is, have you ever had toaster strudels?
Yeah.
It looked like a package of one of them.
Maybe that's what he thought it was. It was just
Pastry icing.
the icing. I can't do it.
Oh,
my
my blood pressure! You're gonna fuck me up.
Good cholesterol, bad cholesterol.
That's what I pictured whenever she pulled that little
And here's
package
the thing.
out of her bra.
Here's the thing. He didn't have to take that. He could have spit it out. He's an adult.
Well, I mean, she's got him handcuffed and she's shoving it in his mouth. I mean,
all he has to do is just
stone lip it.
yeah.
But she's done banged him 2 times already, so he's tired.
So he doesn't have the energy to keep his mouth
He
shut.
couldn't even hit a ball by himself 7 times. What the fuck?
Now he's got a woman on top of her that looks like she weighs about 135 pounds.
But she's taking him to every bit of, I mean, in his world, maybe 30 minutes from the 2 times before. And 30 minutes for that woman, goddamn, it's like a lifetime. She's fucking...
But I mean,
why
did he have to swallow it? His jaw muscles were that sore.
Well, I mean, as long as he got it on his gums, it's being absorbed.
I guess so.
So.
Ow! Give it to me. Oh.
And he's dead.
Maybe he's a diabetic.
Maybe so.
And the toaster strudel pastry package just sent him into a diabetic coma.
She checks his pulse. He's dead. But there's only one hiccup here, Josh. She's done her thing. I know what you're thinking. She's getting dressed again. And oh, there's a knock at the door.
Sir, it's Mr. Abrams calling from Chicago. You asked me to let you know.
She's being real quiet because she just killed the old man. And his servant, who looks slightly older than him, goes back downstairs. So now she's in a rush. She grabs her handcuff key.
Got the old handcuff key there.
She unhandcuffs him. But she's in such a hurry.
I mean, we're not worried about like fingerprints or anything.
Yeah, but she's in such a hurry, she leaves the toaster strudel package behind.
They're going to know Dan was a severe diabetic.
Yeah. This is the greatest part, though. She goes back to her house, I guess, which is a mansion, by the way.
She is fucking just too fine.
So you can see why this kind of did it for me when I was like 13.
That was my father.
Oh, you got a guy drinking Jack Daniels,
a gallon fucking bottle,
and it's almost empty.
He's done downed a gallon of Jack Daniels, and knowing that this fine piece of ass has been over there banging his father. Like, what the fuck world do you live in, dude?
This is a guy that has a very, very unique fetish. I like to be cucked, but only by my dad.
Like, seriously, dude.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Is this what rich people do?
Yeah.
Because I don't want any part of it.
I think I'm just happy being, middle class.
White trash.
Well, white trash does it too, but it's more like, I'm pregnant by your father.
I'm happy being a tweener.
Yeah.
Just fine. I left him with a smile on his face.
Did it turn you on? Doing it with me and my father?
You bet.
You bitch.
Then he pulls her down and starts making out with her.
Which
he's got
all but puts that stamp
Yeah.
on that notion that we've talked about many times. A woman wants you to treat her like shit, and if you do, you're that much more in with her. My wife hates me, I might add.
So
I'm a nice guy.
Oh man, I want to try to find the part where they find the body, and she actually says, "Hey, there's a popper here," is what they called it. To look up and see what that is, too. By the way, here they are. They're back at the house now, Josh. They're investigating the murder.
Liver temperature 86 degrees. Advancing rigor mortis. Okay, guys, I'm all done. You can ship them.
But this was CSI before CSI, wasn't it? Like,
I wouldn't go that far.
They found the...
Wait a minute. What have we here? Second thought, you better leave them on the bed, boys.
They found the the chemical
Mickey
thing.
Mantle 57 for $1,250. $1,250
That's the,
American dollars? Come on, Hector. No. Hey, Hector, listen to me closely.
So I guess they had to call the
baseball card dealer.
Yeah.
One for one last hurrah, but that doesn't make it murder.
Well, not unless you include the female body as a deadly weapon.
Oh, see that.
What? That bothers you?
No.
I see this as like a sexy X-Files.
You get intent if there was intent.
Yeah, they always had
Phillips, you wanted to see
a thing.
Yeah, Wiley, you found the body?
Yes, sir. This morning, when I brought Mr. Ballantyne his newspaper.
So when was the last time you saw him alive?
Yesterday afternoon, ma'am.
So he didn't have dinner last night?
No. Mr. Ballantyne maintained very irregular habits. He would call me if he wanted anything.
Yeah, who would he call if he, if you wanted something you couldn't provide?
Like some cocaine.
Your inference. I believe that Mr.
I don't know what you're saying. I sucked his dick many a times. He was a very powerful man.
Valentine was entertaining a young lady yesterday afternoon.
Oh.
I also believe the young lady left in rather a hurry.
Hey! What the hell's going on around here?
Sergeant Lorenzo, this is my partner, Sergeant Lance.
Hi.
Wiley, did you show them in?
Yes, sir.
He hasn't seen his dead father yet laying there. The son comes in and says, hey, what's going on here? Why is
Looking like Don Henley from a fucking 3-day crack binge.
Yeah. Show them out. Now.
Junior, wait. Please, let the detectives finish their job.
What job? See, there's no crime here. Man died of a heart attack. Came as a big surprise to all of us. See, nobody knew that he had a heart. Now, unless you've got a warrant, get out.
Junior, let's go. Wiley, would you be kind enough to make some coffee for Junior?
You know, implicate yourself in a murder scene.
Junior's cousin, Roland's niece. We can talk downstairs.
Well, after all, the poor boy's been under a lot of stress. I mean, he just lost his dad and all.
I'm getting a weird feeling about this one.
Oh, you think?
Cross my mind, Sam.
Yeah, I'll go talk to Ballantyne's doctor about that. Speaking of doctors,
You need to get your head checked for wearing that purple blazer.
If she doesn't, then what?
You're
This
an
guy's got a
investigator.
fucking purple blazer
You
on.
want to be close in a relationship. Both people got to
Looking like world's most successful pimp of 1987 and shit.
Yeah. Well, that does it for the episode. I can't find the line with the popper, but we got most of the gist there. He couldn't take it because of his heart. So go and watch that episode if you're interested on how it ended. I don't know if they shoot the woman in the end or not. I think
one can hope.
The kid didn't have any
I'd shoot her.
Spoiler: the boy didn't have anything to do with it. They suspect the son, but it's not the son. He was like, "What? You killed my dad?" or something like that. Anyways, there it is. I found it. It was everything I wanted it to be, Josh.
Yay.
And speaking of which, Josh, there's something out there that can be everything you want it to be. And no, we're not talking about a father figure that might have took off on you when you were young.
I was going to say, no, I already have one of those, so it's okay.
We're talking about a t-shirt that says P3 Radio on it. There's plenty of them out there, Josh, but the only ones you can get from the legit P3 Radio store are at tinyurl.com/P3RadioTees. tinyurl.com/P3RadioTees takes you to the greatest site on the internet. It's a site where you can buy P3 Radio shirts, and Josh, they're a bargain at $15. Isn't that right?
That's a bold claim. The greatest.
It's the greatest site on the internet.
I think that it is, though. I think that if you just applied yourself just a bit and wanted to get an 80s logo tee that said P3 Radio, which is our best seller, and also which is the most badass t-shirt that I think that we got, maybe second only to the mugshot t-shirt that is our podcast art. I really like the way that one looks on a t-shirt, and you will too. And the way that you can find that shit out is go to tinyurl.com/P3RadioTees.
Once again, when you're there, make sure you check the shipping before you check out, or you're going to get kind of raked over the coals. I don't know what I'm saying, but yeah, you'll get it a little later, but you definitely don't want to pay for the high price shipping, which is the default. So make sure you check the shipping when you check out by going to tinyurl.com/P3RadioTees. Once again, tinyurl.com/P3RadioTees.
The Police?
No.
Oh, no.
The number one song 23 years ago, Josh.
Is there a reason that you singled out this one?
I just picked one that wasn't a girl band.
I mean, like, what's 23 years ago?
Nothing. When this song came out. 1997, August 2nd. It doesn't seem like this song's that old, though, does it?
I don't know. It seemed old after like 2 months.
Yeah.
In real time.
Like on MTV.
They wore this fucking video out. My God.
It was this song and that Stevie Wonder, How Come, How Long? Who was that with Stevie Wonder?
Stevie Wonder.
Who was the guy that was Babyface?
I don't know.
Yeah. Did Biggie live past, like, how old was he when he died?
I have no idea.
If it was, I think it was like 23, 24 maybe? Maybe he was 27. Was he part of that 27 club?
You got me.
Well,
he wasn't 30.
Well, you've heard about that, right? The 27, all the... They had a clip of this when the video started of Puffy on a motorcycle and he wrecks. I don't know why that was important. You know what I mean? Like, it's a tribute to his friend, and he has to be on a motorcycle crashing at the beginning of it.
Not wearing a helmet.
And then he just walks off of it. This really, like, was the start, really, of P. Diddy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really. I mean, like,
it's sad to say it like that.
People were already like, oh, he's the producer of Bad Boy and or the owner of Bad Boy Entertainment and all that. But as far as like his career as a musician, I think this was that first time where he went on tour by himself. Like, but this was the song that catapulted all that. I think he had been on like just briefly on other songs and stuff, but nothing like this.
Yeah. I remember being sad, but like, because it was just a sad song, but I remember everybody going, that's Sting. That's the Police. But like, this started like a bunch of like him sampling, and that became a thing, you know what I mean?
He did the Led Zeppelin song.
I actually like that
Godzilla.
one. Yeah. That was a
Foo Fighters.
Yeah, the Foo Fighters, all about the Benjamins.
Yeah, but they did the track for that. So.
Yeah. Well, that was 23 years ago. That feels like that was, like, honestly, that feels like that wasn't 23 years ago. You know what I mean? But 23 years ago this week. Josh, this story came out last night. I wanted to tell you about it. Transportainment. Have you ever heard of Transportainment?
I think I've heard it described different ways, but if this is where I think it is, then I've heard of these buses, yes?
Well, they're not only buses. If you've ever been to downtown Nashville, they have the pedal taverns. And what it is it's like this big bike-type bus, and everybody has to pedal.
Now, look, you've lost me already.
You've never heard of a pedal tavern.
You called it a bike type bus.
So what
two things which are in no way, shape, or form like one another.
So what it is it's this bus, basically.
You know, it's kind of like a reptile / bird, right?
Yeah, like a pterodactyl. I'm on your page.
Because we've seen them before.
We have in movies and stuff, but
that
I'm
makes
just
them
saying,
real.
So they were real. Are you a dinosaur denier now?
No, I'm just saying you've never fucking seen one.
No, I haven't.
It's about as relevant as that.
But you know what I'm talking about when I say
a bike type bus? No.
Okay, so I'm going to explain it to you before you get all bent out of shape. Let me tell you what it is. It's a bus, basically.
You know, it's like a big type little cock. Your skinny fat ass.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I don't get it.
Well, I'm going to explain it to you. Go ahead and cut me off when I tried to do it again. No, so it's this bus, basically, and they have a guy that drives the front of it, but every seat, it's like a bar, and every seat on the bus is facing each other like at a bar. Like, there's a bar table here, and you're sitting on it, but at the bottom of every seat, there's these bicycle pedals. And as you pedal, it charges the motor or whatever it is.
You know, Nikola Tesla was the engineer on this outfit.
Well, here, I'll show you what it looks like. Here, I'll pull one up.
What kind of bullshit is that?
So what it does is it charges the motor or whatever that drives it, and it makes it go. So everybody that's there at the bar has to like pedal to drink. You'll see them all the time.
And you got that one asshole, I'm drunk. I ain't doing shit but leaning back.
And they're big in Nashville. I'll show you what they look like. Here we go. I'm pulling up a video now.
Oh, excuse me.
Are you all right there? Lost some
Indigestion.
Lost some of your soul there.
Intragestion, my friend.
What in the hell is this? I pulled up a YouTube page and
I was trying to sell you the bike bus. The fucking bike bus.
Oh, this is a commercial. But yeah, if you've ever been to Nashville, there's pedal taverns. This is what they look like.
Pub cycle.
Oh, that's some bullshit.
You see what it looks like?
That make their way around downtown.
I've seen those, and
you'll find similar contraptions in other cities.
So you got a guy driving.
I first saw these in Fort Lauderdale and
what the hell is he doing if he's not driving?
They got a guy up front that's
driving.
driving.
Party consisting of non-athletes can get it moving, even if half of them are only pretending to pedal. But mountain towns like Asheville rely on electric motors to operate their pub cycles safely.
Dude is the battery switch.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just human power when the dude is sitting on the stick thing.
Yep.
Okay.
It's just human power when the dude's sitting on the stick, Richard.
According to Leela, no group of any size has ever
And they had this little figurine there with a little guy on it, and the switch was in between his legs.
Yep.
So it looked like his willy.
His silver dong.
On pedal power alone.
So you got
I
two
took that
powers.
as a challenge. We had the minimum group size of 6 pedalers. It was Alex and myself who were reasonably adept at.
So what you have is you have bachelorette parties and bachelor parties.
I was going to say what we have there looking like where you just paused is a rhinestone cowboy, Richard. Writing cards or getting cards and letters from people you don't even know.
The guy on the left looks like colorful Jesus. I'm going to die flamboyantly for your sins.
It's like he's got fucking rainbow camouflage on. That's different.
Plus Barrett, who's a professional mountain biker.
So when we were in Nashville, we asked a guy that was on our Uber. We were like, "Hey, look at those pedal taverns," because we got behind one, and he was like, "Yeah, the city tried to shut those down. They tried to say it was DUIs, like because everybody pedaling them is drinking."
Right.
He's like, "But they're not driving it; they're just powering the vehicle, which it's not. It's not like if they pedal." There's no way to stop them. You know what I mean? So but the city tried to have them shut down because they looked at it as like a DUI thing.
Right.
These things only go about 15 to 20 miles per hour. You'll see how fast they go. And they have like microphones on them. Like the one thing that was funny, we were going to a football game and we were walking to the Titans game at like 11:30, and there was people already on one of these things drinking, like hammered.
That's them third shift people. They done spent the night up already.
But you see how slow it's going, and that's just on pedal power. Now, they have a battery power that helps, but you can charge the battery by pedaling. Yeah, see, they're braking.
All right, what are you getting at, Richard?
All right, so last night, due to this blood oath thing that's been going around, last night, a vehicle cited after being ordered to shut down during the pandemic. In Nashville, police reported just before 10 p.m. Saturday that they cited 2 transportainment vehicles on Broadway. Let's see. "We've got our masks," said Potts, the guy that got pulled over. "They visited Broadway bars and other sites, but one thing they won't do, ride a transportainment vehicle now that they've been grounded by Governor Bill Lee and the Nashville Mayor John Cooper." So the bars are still open, but they're shutting down these pedal taverns. Now,
it's weird.
To you, does it not seem weird because you feel like they're outside? You're not going to be on a pedal tavern probably with people you don't know. Most of them are going to be your friends or family that you're out with.
It really don't matter. I think it's just how close they're sitting together.
Maybe so, but I mean, you only have to have 6, and there's like a lot of bar stools, so they could sit separate.
They could, but they wouldn't.
Yeah, but not in that one, not in that video. But that video wasn't demonstrating the pandemic. But I mean, if you have bars open where people are standing right next to the bar.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't see how bars are functioning, within the guidelines of all this shit, because when you're drunk especially, it's like you kind of do your own thing.
Yeah.
When it comes to rules,
Yeah. You saw the report where they were like, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago, where they were talking about people needed to wear face masks during sex as another form of protection.
I get headaches from wearing the damn things.
I do too.
Like, seriously, me and my wife, we went to Sam's and Kroger,
Right.
Earlier in the day. And on the ride home, man, I developed this fucking horrible ass headache.
Yeah.
And I got to wear it a lot at work too. And it seems like it just, it's like stuffing a fucking banana in a tailpipe.
Yeah.
Because,
Or your camp experience.
Well, 5th grade camp.
Yeah.
Whichever way you want to word it. But yeah, it's like that's your exhaust. You sweat and you blow out the hot air that you create from all the friction when you're doing whatever strenuous. And if you put a fucking cloth, that's why when you trying to ether somebody, you put it over their fucking mouth,
You're trying to ether somebody. How many people you tried to ether in your life?
3 at max. So we're going to go here.
When we were in Florida, like the first day, we had to go buy groceries and everything because I told you that's what we do. We like to, maybe order dinner, maybe whatever,
Well, actually, you lied. You said, I'm bringing all my groceries with me.
I did, but there was certain things like certain meats that you wanted that you couldn't really take. You have a cooler, but the ice is going to melt within like 5-6 hours. So it's like, So we went and got all our meats when we got down there. And we were there for a little while, like I said, but after like wearing that mask for so long, like I remember telling my wife later, I was like, I felt dizzy headed. She's like, I did too. Like not saying that it's depleting of me of oxygen or anything like that. It's just, man, it's different. And if it's hot outside, like if it's hot in a store that you're in and you're breathing in that, you get super hot. So I don't know. Hopefully we won't have to wear them much longer.
I don't know, man.
We'll see. But, I mean, like I said, we wore them. The mandates for Florida, there really isn't one. The stores are the ones that are making the call.
Yeah, which is smart.
Yeah, I mean, and, the funny thing was we were down there and we were at a CVS because it was within scooter riding distance of our condo. So we rode down there and this guy walked in and this CVS woman walks up and she's like, "Sir, you've got to have a mask on to be in here." And he keeps walking and he's being a dick. And he's like, "I got a medical condition." Like that. And he was a Brendan's got ball.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything about him was like, Brendan's got ball. We ain't going to be there. Brendan's got pitch. Brenda's got pitch. We ain't going to make it to your sister's birthday. All right, Brenda? Go tell her to go fuck herself. Brendan's got ball. So he was one of those douchebags. So the woman goes, "Sir, you can't shop here if you don't have a mask on." And he keeps walking. He turns around and is like, "What if I have a medical condition?" And she's like, "Well, then you need to go outside and we'll do your shopping for you." And he keeps walking. He just ignores her. So she goes over, like, how like when you see somebody with no power trying to have some power and she's like she should have called somebody to remove him from the store. But she goes over and gets on the microphone for the store and goes, "Attention CVS customers. If you are not wearing a mask, you cannot be in our store. Thank you," and hangs up.
They've said it over the speaker. I got to get out of here.
You don't want me to say it in a deeper tone? You better get out of here, motherfuckers. It's like, what do you've already told him twice, and now now it's on the loudspeaker. Ooh. So finally, he walks out of the store. Like he just walks out, like grumbling about something. And his wife and his daughter
just won't get some damn Gatorade, Brendan.
They were putting like their shirts over their face, and they were telling them, "We sell the masks over here. No, we ain't buying no masks." There's a fine line between I don't like it, but I'm gonna wear it. I mean, do I like to be told to wear one? No, but am I gonna just cause a scene because I have to wear one? No. You know what I mean? It's like, just put it on, go in. And now it is weird, like you've said, going in a store and before you going in, you're putting on this mask, like especially the one I have that like pulls like a ski mask, but it's just like a half a mask.
Yeah.
It's like pulling that on before you go into a bank or somewhere. You're like, this
I'm not
feels
comfortable with it.
Weird.
And I've never been comfortable with it.
Oh, man. But Josh, some sad news to go along with losing Regis last week. Like Regis Philbin. I was shocked by that. I don't know if you were.
I've seen a lot of different like Regis footage and stuff, especially, because our Twitter is just littered with comedians and also wrestling people.
Fans, yeah.
And Regis was a huge wrestling fan.
Yeah.
And if you remember correctly, back in, say, 92, 93, when WWF was kind of lost in the void, I say, because it was, right as the steroid scandal was fixing to go to trial and all that. And like, you could look at the way WWF was shot. Like they changed a lot of locations. They were going to like a lot of smaller venues and stuff. And I think a lot of people back then were really legit scared. Well, this motherfucking shit may go under.
Right.
And it seemed like Regis was the only one that kept bringing the wrestlers back to his show, which was fucking, 10 o'clock in the morning on a network television show. So Regis, huge fan, but also he was a huge contributor in keeping wrestling mainstream.
Right. And also like people like Ray Combs.
Right.
Family Feud. He had wrestlers on all the time. And so, Regis was one of those you always thought he was never going to die. I don't know why.
He was like...
He was old when we were little,
Right. I haven't never thought of it that way. But it was like he was an old guy whenever we were little, but he always seemed to be in the mix all the time.
Yeah.
Kind of like Dick Clark. Whenever Dick Clark died, you're like, fuck, I thought he'd live forever.
Right. That one hurt a little bit seeing Regis had passed.
Yeah.
But... I tell you, we lost another one last night, Josh, or 2 nights ago when this comes out, or I guess, last night. We'll put it out today. Wilford Brimley. And I know some of you are probably like, who in the hell's Wilford Brimley?
Well, then you've never seen a fucking show called Black Beauty. Wasn't he on Black Beauty? Or the movie Black Beauty? I may have just fucked everything up.
You realize that's the wrong guy. You're like, I've been mourning for weeks over this, for days over this.
I seriously think that he was in some kind of horse show or movie.
Maybe it was just a guy that looked like him that was on that weird horse porn.
No.
Y'all know. Y'all saw him fuck that horse.
He was on a fucking shit ton of TV in the 90s.
Yeah, so he was the iconic actor who was the face of Quaker Oats for years, as well as a spokesperson, and here's where people probably will know him from, for diabetes education. Like, you remember the old cowboy that was like, diabetes, I'll try to find the video, Josh. That might be what sparks it. But anyways, last night, he passed away. And I remember you saying, I said, this just seems like something we should cover. And what did you say?
I said, well, I mean, we can if you want to, but you know what's going to happen if we start talking about this. It's not going to be good.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to... It's just one of them deals to where it's been parodied so much, and then when look, I don't want to be laughing when I say this, but when the guy finally dies,
right,
and it's probably from what he's been lecturing us about,
right,
it's kind of like,
it's
damn,
sad.
Damn.
You by Liberty Medical, helping you to manage your diabetes
this is the
and get the supplies and support you need, so you.
This
can
was an
live a better life.
infomercial. It's like a 5-minute commercial for.
Good morning. I'm Wilford Brimley, and I'd like to talk to you for a few
and I
minutes
look
about
exceptionally
diabetes.
happy to be
Actually, about
here.
Diabetes, and how it's affected me in my life. I'll start when I was first diagnosed. I was scared to death. I was experiencing symptoms that were strange and unfamiliar
Started
to
collecting
me.
a lot of crochet books.
I had an
It's fucking
unquenchable
weird.
thirst. My tongue felt like a horseshoe rasp. I was losing my vision. I was losing my energy.
Oh no, he seems like a very energetic guy.
I was getting up every 15 or 20 minutes all through the night.
See, pause that.
So I wasn't
Pause
getting
it.
any rest. And
Pause it. I told you. 20 seconds max. 20 fucking seconds is all it would take for us to go down that dark road that we probably didn't want to go down.
Yeah.
But you're still driving.
No, I'll back out. I mean, you heard the Family Guy one, right?
Yes.
You've seen the family.
Yes.
I'll play a little bit of that. Why not? Here we go.
Hi, I'm Wilford Brimley, and I have diabetes. It hurts me to pee, and it causes me to be short with my family. I can't sleep at night. The other day, I stubbed my toe and took it out on the dog. And 2 weeks ago, I ran out of vanilla ice cream and struck my wife. And then I find out my wife's been dead for 6 years. Who the hell did I hit?
This message brought to you by the National Diabetes Association.
Oh man, I always loved that when I was younger. I guess when I was in high school when that came out, but oh man.
And like you said, he was fucking old then.
Yeah. Just the.
So what got him?
Let's see. Brimley started out as mostly a TV actor in the 80s. He started breaking into movies, more traditional films, appearing in flicks like High Road to China, 10 to Midnight, Tough Enough. Oh, he was in Tough Enough. I remember that with Taz and Jim Ross and all those. I didn't know he was picking talent for wrestling. Godfatherly figure, comforting.
Do you have any
Southern
diabetic
accent.
wrestling boots?
I really like that Kerry Von Erich, just because he has 1 foot like me. Damn. He was in Walker, Texas Ranger.
See, maybe that's where I remember. But I thought it was
all right, so
surely to God he was in the Black Beauty movie or something. Damn it!
I think he was 85 with diabetes. So I think that's why. Well, anyways, man, we lost Regis and him. I mean, we know where they are. They're just dead.
Do we?
They're just dead.
Do we know where they are? You seem to be pretty sure about that.
Oh, man. Well, you have this one pulled up, Josh. What is this?
You know, when I seen this, I thought, well, this is something that we're not really that accustomed to anymore.
What?
In these precious times that we're living in.
Right.
This is an old country buffet training video.
So there's not a lot of buffets out right now.
Well, not a lot that you can go and have that traditional buffet experience.
Yeah.
And even the biggest hit to this whole thing, I think, that's really hit home with me during these precious times that we're living in is the Old Country Store.
Yeah.
Where we live,
our old country store.
Where we live here in Jackson, Tennessee. I'm talking about since way before we were born.
Right.
Buffet style. You know, they had a breakfast buffet and a lunch buffet and a dinner buffet. They were in the buffet business. And they also have the Old Country Store. You know, just like if you go to a Cracker Barrel or something, they got shit for sale. It's almost like a
Cracker Barrel.
A Cracker Barrel alternative, or whatever.
And it's been around. It's like locally owned. It's been around for. Mick Foley talked about when we talked to Buzz and Harvey.
It's within the Casey Jones Village.
Yes, Mick Foley talked about that was like a restaurant he stopped in on, and he remembered it. And he was like,
Yeah.
I loved it when I was there." So he was he endorsed it when he came through here.
Right. And I was just on YouTube, and you know how YouTube is. You get caught in one of them loops where you start out trying to research something like a fucking lake in 1980 that you went to or whatever, and then you end up like on fucking Snorks or something.
Yeah.
Well, this was on one of those weird loops, and I seen the cover art thing, and I was just like, this has got to be funny just a little bit. And this is from, I think, the mid-90s or something.
Right.
So
it's
called training video for the, I guess you'd be the meat cutter or whatever for this. Apparently, this was one of those deals to where it was like a Shoney's where it was franchised out, and there was several of them, you know, throughout a region or whatever.
Well, the reason why you brought up our buffet is because the Old Country Store buffet is no longer doing buffet.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you rescued me
Yeah.
from all that talk around.
You built it up and then you never paid it off.
I'm so sorry. But yeah, they literally
went to a family style is what they call it.
1 week ago.
Yeah.
1 week ago they made it to where, hey, you're just going to come in and order whatever you want. And if you want more, we'll go back and get you more. But it's not a buffet per se anymore.
You have to pick your meat. You have to pick whatever you want. And then they bring you a big like plate of that food and you share it with your family.
Which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
But maybe at some point in the future we can get back to...
Well, we went to a Ruby Tuesdays while we were gone, and they had a salad bar. And they were allowing people to go to the salad bar, but they gave them gloves, and you had to use a new glove every time you went. And you could only you couldn't touch your plate and then touch the thing. You had to hold the plate with one hand and use your gloved hand to get the stuff.
Now, who is monitoring this?
They had people up there at the salad bar. Like
some jack off with a fucking iPad or something. He's like, no, you've touched it twice. Go sit back down.
Yeah, go get a new glove. I have a medical condition.
Right.
I'm allergic to latex. All right.
But anyways, I seen this and I just watched, like I told you off air, maybe a minute 30 of this shit, and I was like, my God.
You have to unmute it first. There you go.
All right, here we go.
And with your second shift duty,
I guess they were second shifters. Let's just go right back.
Your other shift duties. We'll begin with your second shift duty, greeting and serving guests.
Good evening. Fried enough to eat today?
Boy, I'll say.
Well, that's great. Would you care for ham or beef?
A little both, I think.
All right.
Now let me ask you something. Dude.
That sounds like a sarcastic asshole. You had enough to eat today?
Well, look at this guy's face. And that kind of like snarky ass, because he comes off as snarky, right?
Yeah.
Whenever somebody tries to have one of those snarky ass conversations with you, like whether it be at a restaurant or whatever, you just kind of just look at them and blow them off, right?
Right.
This guy, he's trying to be all personal, but he's got nothing going on in his eyes. He's like a dead soul.
Yeah, it's like I started working here, and I've been here for 3 years longer than I wanted to be. And every night I go home and drink a quart of Jim Beam and pray to God to end my sad, non-existent life.
It seems like I have no character. Well, that's really the lithium.
One day I'm going to go down to the Home Depot. Do you realize that we never made the connection that Home Depot's slogan is "You can do it, we can help"? We never made that connection.
No. And it's because if you think about it, I think it's a subconscious thing because goddamn, where we live, Home Depot's really fucking far away.
It's like, come on, guys.
Lowe's is right down the street.
Right down the corner. But no, you want to go to Home Depot.
That's what Richard wants. That's what Richard wants when the end comes. Oh, man. But yeah, Deadeyes, he's not convincing me that he's really concerned about
It's almost like he's carving up a person instead of the meat.
Right.
Making friendly conversations like this
That
is
was
a
friendly?
big part of greeting and serving guests. At other buffet-style restaurants, guests often feel they're on their own. Once they've paid...
Now look, you can see this guy.
That woman's pretty large.
Oh, that is a big woman. That looks like the 2 weeks woman from Total Recall.
He didn't even ask her if you noticed. He just started cutting fucking meat.
I know you want at least 5 pieces, right, darling?
I'm just going to cut half this lamb in half for you, bitch.
This motherfucker is having to dress like Chef Boyardee
He
and
is.
shit. Like a carbon copy of Chef Boyardee.
Why
He's
not
got
just
the
cut
asshole
the meat
hat.
in the back and leave it there cut so
No,
they could just
no.
grab it with a tong?
You got to, no. You got to stand out there, look them in the eyes, and cut their meats for them. Now, it only gets weird if you went to high school with them.
For the meal, no one pays much attention to them. At Old Country Buffet, we work hard to make sure our guests never feel that way. As a carver, you spend a little more time with guests and other team members. That means you have a great chance to make them feel welcome and
I have a great chance to make that girl feel welcome.
Yeah, I was waiting on it. He's just doing inappropriate things with that little fork that he has to hold the meat down, just sticking his tongue through it, doing that little...
He's like, so baby, how much meat can you handle?
What do you
How much
say?
meat can that plate handle?
What do you say about after this? I slide some more of my meat in your mouth. How about that? No, I'm fired. Fine, I'm happy. I'm gonna go Lowe's anyways.
appreciated. By greeting the guest warmly and holding brief conversations as you serve them, you say to our guests, "We're glad you're here."
Hey, baby, you ever fucked the chef before?
The same can be said with a stripper.
Yeah. Brief conversations make them feel welcome.
Right.
And then slap their meat around.
Or at least proposition them
Yeah.
on if they gave you more money, how much you would slap that meat
Now,
around for.
Josh, this is a 10-minute video. Are we watching all 10 minutes?
Oh, no.
Okay. I mean, I don't mind.
Let's take a closer look at greeting guests.
Greeting and serving the
Every
guests.
conversation you hold with a guest should begin something like this.
Good evening.
Or,
Hi Hi, how are you?
Once you've greeted the guest, start a brief conversation.
Who
Try
doesn't
asking
know?
a question.
Who doesn't know
Did
that
you
that's...
see how startled he was
Yeah.
by the size
Jesus!
of that woman?
Like he goes to say good evening. He says, oh, my Lord!
It's like, my arm's going to get tired cutting meat for you, bitch.
She looks kind of like Bastion Booger in a wig, does she not?
Like when I said she looks like the 2 Weeks woman from Total Recall, she looks like that big, humongous woman. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Like huge.
Right.
Or this dude is like 5'3".
Yeah, and she barely has room on her plate right now for any food.
She needs some fucking sideboards for that son of a bitch.
The guest can answer in a sentence or two. You might ask something like this.
Is it still hot out there?
Or this.
Did you catch a game last night?
Or this.
Have you tried?
He has like as much enthusiasm as like your wife does on the anniversary when she says, when you ask her, you're like, so I can put it anywhere tonight? Yeah. Put it anywhere tonight.
Right.
Like just dead as a motherfucker. It's like, I know it's that one time a
I'm
year.
going to take an Ambien anyway.
That one night a year where anything goes, and just I'm not there.
I want to remake these and make them like insulting people's like, your wife pick out that shirt? You know, just stupid shit like that.
Tried the lasagna? It's my favorite.
Those pleated slacks you have on there
make you look like an asshole. Yeah, he's just. Is it still hot out there? No, motherfucker, it became fall since you went to work.
Don't forget to hold quick conversations with our younger guests, too.
Oh, I feel like
man.
that's probably... Look at his eyes, dude. That's creepy. I feel like that's probably frowned upon with some of your ex-con staff.
Right. Like, what if I'm not legally able to hold conversations with children?
Do it anyways. This is the old country store buffet way, not the old
Children
country store.
often play a big
Hold
part
on,
in deciding
I don't want to be
which
sued
restaurant
by
their
our local
parents
restaurant.
visit.
This is the country store buffet way, not the old country store in Jackson.
Right.
All right.
These are not the opinions of
Yes.
Brookshaw.
Yeah.
Old Country
No,
Store.
that's a good place. This is a different place.
Yes.
Have you tried the lasagna? It's my favorite.
Don't forget to hold quick conversations with our younger guests, too. Children often play a big part in deciding which restaurant their parents visit. We want them to feel welcome and special here, too.
Oh, God.
So start conversations with
I wanna
children
hear how
by
good
saying
this one's
something
gonna
like
be.
this.
What grade are you in at school?
That's
Or-
creepy as hell. I think there was a NXT wrestler that said the same thing on a voicemail once.
And they swept that shit under the rug,
What
too.
grade are
didn't
you
they?
in?
So what school do you go to?
What school do you go to?
Maybe that's why. I mean, I just, oh God, like they could never show this today.
No, not at
It's
all.
like- now it's like, don't you talk to those kids.
Yeah.
Don't you say
Just
anything.
cut
to
the
those
damn
kids.
meat and get out of there, Larry.
Yes.
Have you decided what dessert you're going to have?
Because if not, I got a bunch of them in my van out in the fucking back lot.
Yeah, just come pick it out.
I got bomb pops and everything.
Or this.
Do you like hot fudge sundaes?
Once you've held a brief conversation,
all of
it's
that.
time to move on to the second half of this shift duty.
You just
serving the
hold on.
guests.
The next part of that would be like an angry father. Don't you dare talk to my kid.
Right.
Come
What
on.
the fuck matter? Does it matter that she's in what grade? I mean, what does it
What's the
matter
matter?
to you?
You gonna cut the meat differently if she's in the 5th grade? Jesus.
Oh God.
Serving the guests. This is where they do dance
Begin
moves.
by asking,
Would you care for some hammer beef?
Ham, please.
once guests have
What's
chosen
hammer
what
beef?
meat they want,
I think he was coming on to. Would you care for some
That's a
hammer beef?
position that I learned in the Kama Sutra. That was in page 203.
Some people like to call it a pile driver. I like to call it a hammer beef.
But we're actually in Arkansas, so we call it the hammer beef.
you'll carve a slice of it. Exactly what size of slice you will serve will be a judgment call on your part.
Oh, really?
As could be said at the strip club.
Yeah.
See what connections I'm making?
Makes a special request. We don't limit the can have. We do, however, manage it to reduce waste. Here are some guidelines for knowing how much meat to serve a guest. When your guest's plate has very little on it, carve a full cut. Lay it over the bare portion of the plate. Children usually prefer smaller portions. Carve them a smaller cut.
Unless their parents are pieces of shit, don't feed them,
Yeah.
and that buffet's your only source of food.
I was gonna say I was a portly son bitch.
Place it on an
I
open
wanted a
section
lot of
the
meat.
plate. If your guest's plate looks like this,
It's totally full.
a quarter cut or a half cut of the meat the guest requests.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Did you
guests
hear
will
that?
tell you
If your
exactly
guests have a full plate, fuck what they say. I want full
You're getting
piece.
you're
Well, you're
getting
getting
a
a half,
quarter
fat
cut,
bitch.
There's 2 weeks. What does
Yeah.
she want?
exactly what size of cut
That's like our
or
4th
number
time
of
up there
pieces
for
they
some
want.
meat.
Other guests will
Must be the
ask you to
GM's
carve a
wife.
slight thicker than our usual
Yeah.
dime width. These guests
He just said that our usual dime width.
Yeah.
Like, you're serving out dime slices?
Yeah,
Like,
dime width slices.
What the hell? Like, Oscar Mayer makes their fucking shit thicker in those packages than you're serving up the meat at a
Right.
buffet.
Right.
What the hell?
And then they're basically
I
saying
feel they're getting
for our
more.
large guests, because like
We're
they're
getting
showing
a
this
thicker
large
cut.
woman.
Right.
Like,
Actually,
give her-
the thin cut ensures them a tender piece of meat, which is why we carve dime thicknesses. If a guest asks
so we're
you,
fooling them.
Like a half-inch slice of that roast beef, please.
say something like this.
I'd be glad to carve you that. Thinner slices are more tender, though. Would that be all right? You can always come back up for more.
Okay.
Of course, if
I'll have your
Actually-
job, motherfucker. Cut my slice.
Actually, I wanted a motherfucking half-inch slice, so I didn't have to get back up.
Right.
That's why. So, if I say I want a half-inch slice, that don't mean I want to get up 2 times.
Right.
Like, I'm telling you half-inch because that's what I fucking asked for.
What if they ask for the whole damn thing? That right there looks like a 2-inch piece of meat. What if they go, give me that?
I'm sure your wife has said that a lot, right?
A 2-inch piece of meat.
the guest insists on a thicker slice, honor the request.
Yeah.
No matter what the topic of your conversation has been or what size slice you've served, you will end each guest contact with
I
the
kinda
same
want some
phrase.
brisket now.
How's that for you?
That's fine, thanks.
Asking, how's that, makes sure guests are happy with the slice they received. If they're not, or if they also want a slice of a different meat, you can correct the situation.
This is depressing.
Is that what you say? Is that what you say when you're done? When you're, how's that?
How's that? Was that good enough for you?
Now, what if she wants a different slice of
Right.
meat?
Situation promptly. Guests will
Look at
sometimes
this
ask
guy.
you questions about the food we serve and how we prepare it. To be ready for these questions,
With the Magnum
make
TA
the most of
mustache.
opportunities to learn about our menu items. If you are asked a question you can't answer, find someone who
Bullshit
can
your way
answer.
through it.
The nearest manager is usually a good place to start.
just shook
third
his head
shift
no,
duty
like,
is
I don't have a fucking
maintaining the
clue.
carving station. As you
I've been
carve
doing
and
blow
serve
in the
meats,
stockroom.
your station quickly loses the cleanliness.
That was the gist of it. Though.
Yeah.
I just wanted to touch on that because I thought it was hilarious.
Have you seen that Wendy's training video?
There, it's on the.
It's
queue.
right there.
It's
Yeah.
right-
Click on it. Have you
right
ever
next-
seen it?
It's
What
on-
is the thing that said it felt good, didn't it, Ricky? What the hell is
Huh?
that? That one. Click it.
Oh man, I don't
What
know.
the
if we
hell is
should.
that? There's a video.
It's by Doll Snatch.
There's a boy laying in bed. This looks to be a 70s video. He's apparently in his room. And the door's unlocked. In walks his mother. Oh, apparently he's been...
Excuse me, Ricky. Ricky, I did see what you were doing. It felt good, didn't it? It's all right. We all have feelings like this sometimes. I'm just glad you're doing this in the privacy of your own room.
I'm interrupting you.
Would you be mortified as a kid if your mom walked in and was like, "Oh, Josh, I see what you're doing"?
I know you felt.
Would
God
she ever been that articulate about it?
Absolutely not.
What was she?
I'm gonna take that black box away from you. That's literally what she said. One time, she told me that by the time I got home from school the next day, that the black box would be out of my room into her room, and I would never be able to watch it late at night again.
I thought you were going to go somewhere totally different.
No,
I thought
she
you were
threatened the
gonna go-
porn and then never went through with it.
I thought you were going to go with the whole, like, okay, so did she catch you like this boy, or were you like sitting on the couch?
Well, I was in my room, so I was in my
your
bed.
room was like the main traffic area.
I was in my bed.
Yeah, your room was between your mom
And
and
it
dad's
didn't matter.
room.
She didn't see me doing anything, but she seen me changing the channel like
Right.
really quick. And then she was like, turn it back to what she was watching. And I was only at like 52
Right.
at that point. So I turned it back to 51, and Luke's Peep Show was on or
was it?
something. So,
You could have lied.
I was busted.
You could have. I was watching this.
No, she said, why'd you change it when I walked in here real quick? She already knew.
But I was expecting something like, Joshua, put your dick up.
No, Ray J seen that.
Oh, what did he say?
He didn't say a fucking word. He just kept walking.
I saw what you were doing, Joshua. It felt good. It's completely natural and normal for you to have these feelings.
He didn't say that.
No?
I remember the movie I was watching. That's how traumatizing
Was it Silk
was.
Stockings?
No, The Fanny.
It was a British movie, huh?
No, it was you know how porn does the off what do you call them the
puns
whatever. But it was like in the same vein of The Nanny.
Yeah.
And it was The Fanny because she was banging everybody.
Right. Oh man. See what.
When you're a little bit older, we'll have to talk more about these feelings and what causes them and how we can control these feelings.
I'd be mortified.
I'm sorry I intruded on your privacy. I'll be sure to knock next time, okay?
There ain't a Southern mom in here that's ever said that. Well, now what do you do as the kid? Do you finish? There's nothing more of a mood killer than that.
See, no, what troubles me is the next video off of this video. It's called "Welcome to the Club, Buddy." It's only 27 seconds long.
Sure, go ahead. So yeah, I can't imagine a Southern mom going. She probably just quit jerking off in here. Clean up this damn room.
Quit putting it in that one sock. I cut myself last time I was doing laundry.
Congratulations. You're officially part of the band.
Welcome to the club, buddy.
Wow.
Let's get something straight. It was the first and the last time either one of you will ever touch my ass again. Are you clear?
What the hell is this?
See you at rehearsal.
Alright, so hold up. I don't know what the hell we just watched, but there's grown adult men standing in this room and they go, welcome to the club, welcome to the band, and they smack him on the ass, and he's like, that's going to be the last time y'all touch my ass. See you at rehearsal! Like, you're still staying in there?
I don't know, man. I don't think we should even watch the rest
No,
of
there's another one that says, that's not my problem. It's yours.
it. This one ain't my problem either.
All right, hit the
Listen,
Wendy's
appeal it.
training video there. If you hadn't seen that one, we'll do that one real quick too. This is the training video that they used to play for all Wendy's employees back in like the 80s. So 80s, early 90s.
I love it.
Have you seen this?
No.
Oh.
Drinks. Cold. Are you ready? Here we go.
Now this is the cold drink station. This is before they gave you a cup and said, go fill up your cup yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the yellow Wendy's
Water, cold
cups.
tea, it's up to you, it's up to me. Cold drinks come in 4 cups, gotta know the size before you fill it up. Biggie, medium, small, kids meal, keep it straight, it's a good deal. Use the scoop to fill with ice, never use the cup, take my advice. For soft drinks, fill the ice halfway.
We gotta
no
rap
matter
with the
size,
kids. That's how we gotta. That's how we're gonna get to them.
This is before the ice machines that you just push the button and the ice fell in the damn cup. They have a scoop that they scoop it out of.
Gotta be cleansing and use the scoop.
Oh crap! I hit the wrong button there. There we go.
I say, tilt the cup and push against the lever. Keeps the foam down now, isn't that clever? If there's still foam, let it settle down. Don't pour it off, or your boss will frown. When you reach a 1/4 inch from the top, that's where you wanna stop. If the customers say they wanna stay, put the drink on the left-hand side of the tray. If the order's to go, put the lid on tight. Make sure it pops to do it right. Then hand that drink to the coordinator and tell the guest you'll see him later.
Don't forget
Making
to
a
smile.
drink for you.
Serve cold drinks. Always say thank you to the guest.
This is the most cringeworthy thing I've ever seen.
It's like early
You're the
90s.
one that can make the difference.
For lemonade, things stay the same, half full with ice. I said it again, fill the juice to a 1/4 inch from the top, just like you did the pop. Water is a courtesy to our guests. Use a small cup, you know the rest. Now it's time to serve cold tea, but the ice is different. Listen carefully. Instead of half full, fill it all the way up to the top of the cup. Add the tea, and if they ask for lemon, put it here. Now that's a given. Cold drinks, that's all there is to it. Go ahead and try. I know you can do it.
I guess they had to make it simple because some of the people back then weren't the smartest working it.
So make it like a Paula Abdul
Yeah.
video. Because you know she's popular right now.
Yeah. Oh man, we still have
a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff to talk about. You want to save it for next week?
I think we should. We could pinch
Let's
it off.
leave you on this one, Josh.
Leave me.
I'm gonna have to reset this video because it started playing apparently without me. I saw this on the news. Well, we'll skip that one. I saw this one last night, and I just start. No, this is the one you have. We'll leave that one there. This is pretty funny right here, Josh. A woman being
filmed tased is funny to you.
Well, we talked about like how certain churches were going a little extreme. Like we saw that woman
Repent,
a couple of weeks.
motherfucker.
Yeah, we saw that woman a couple of weeks ago in Walmart. You know, telling the guy that he needed to turn from his evil ways. I'm trying to help you, motherfucker. I'm trying to help you, motherfucker. So this woman was trying to perform an exorcist on a police officer. See how that ends up. So she's holding her hand out like she's putting a magic spell on him. Like she's doing the stop in the name of love move like Diana Ross did back in the day. And she's saying like, Kalima! Or something.
I see trees of green.
And she's yelling at him going, ah! And he's backpedaling. To his credit, he's telling her to stop.
He doesn't know what's going on. I mean, it may
no.
be some otherworldly shit happening that.
Yeah. Well, that's about to end pretty quickly. She got hit with that taser. That hand went down quick, didn't it? Oh, I just thought that was hilarious.
So it'll be her,
and then-
Terry Funk, and Luke from fucking Days of Our Lives on the prayer list.
Y'all remember Sister Francis? She got tased the other day. She was just trying to do the Lord's work on that officer. And the devil came out of that taser.
And Ric Flair. Terry Funk attacked him this week, and also Luke.
Yeah.
From
He
Days of
gets
Our Lives.
his memory back. Oh, man. Here's one last one, Josh. And I'm just going to ask you what you would do. This is a hot air balloon
It'll be a
video.
short answer for you. I wouldn't get on one.
Yeah. I wouldn't get on one either. But this guy looks like he's helping with the getting the balloon up. He's a balloon fluffer.
I was going to say, it looks like he's just got a megaphone in his mouth.
And I want you to describe what happens here.
You're in the band, buddy.
So on these balloons, they have cable ties that hold the balloons
my
down.
God.
And this guy just starts screaming because what's happened, Josh?
He got by, with the ankle of one of the ropes. It's just like a ship, man. You know, I had a buddy of mine that I used to work with. He legit got the from the knee down, ripped off of his fucking self, working on a barge ship.
Could he get it put back on?
Metal. He's got a metal gimmick now.
Half Lieutenant Dan is what you're saying.
Right.
Ooh.
Drives a nice ass truck though. Son. Nice ass truck
though, is it? Damn.
But yeah, like he pretty much had stepped within one of the coils.
Yeah.
As I guess
that's a big thing on boats.
Yes, always watch your ass. Man,
yeah.
Because he said it didn't take but like literally under a second.
Yeah.
And
because if it doesn't pull your leg off, it pulls you underwater.
Right.
And
so he said it took less than a second, and then snip, and he said he looks down.
Jeez.
It's gone. It's fucking gone. You know, he's like, I just sat down at that point. Well, I guess you had no choice.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's done got in the ankle by one of these ropes.
It snared his ankle.
And what do you do at this point?
And he went from being on the ground to he's about 3 stories up right now?
Every bit of 25 feet.
Listen to this. Listen to his screams of like terror. Who's the heartless motherfuckers laughing at him?
And one of them's like a child. One of them is a child just laughing their fucking ass off. Like, what kind of monsters are you raising?
There's no panic. There's no like, oh my God, he
like,
might fall.
I hear more people laughing in this video than I do being like distraught.
That man is higher than the treetops right now.
God damn, man.
Like he is higher than the trees. Like in the video, you see the trees are about a good 10 feet below him, the treetops. And only thing you see, you can almost isolate this video of just blue sky and this guy.
Blue sky.
They're trying to pull it down now. This had to be in a different country, right? They're trying to pull the balloon down. But yeah, listen to this guy's screams of terror one more time. Now,
there's children laughing.
Now, I don't know what they were saying because of the language differences, but that has to be planned.
Oh, you mean you don't know Nambian?
Is that planned? Is that why everybody's laughing? Could that be what it is?
It cannot. Where's the safety harness?
Around his leg?
Around his ankle?
Now, Raul, what happens if the rope breaks? Oh, you're
dead.
Go
into the sky.
Yeah.
Or do you come back down?
Yeah.
Either way, you're fucked.
It's okay. We will find a new person to do this gag.
Thank God, huh?
That's what I was worried about. Who was going to cover my shift if I died? Oh, man. Well, Josh, that's going to do it for us this week. It's been a blast these past 3 years, and I'm glad we're starting on year 3 here, and I'm glad to be back to somewhat live shows now.
I thought we were done with year 3. We're going on 4. What the hell?
We're going on year 4 anyways.
You're busting us back, Jack.
I'm having a great time doing these, and we want to thank everybody for listening the past 3 years.
So, I'm sorry to cut you off, but how many more summers do you think P3 Radio has?
At least 15.
That is so fucked up. Like, you would put a spell on my brain now. It's like, oh, that old bitch got about 20 summers in her.
Like they're looking at a horse.
Right.
How many summers do you think this horse has left?
I think it's got about 5 derbies left in it. And after that, it's hot dog in Canada.
Well, if they want to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or give us a call, how do they do that, Josh?
Well, on Twitter, we are at P3 Radio, the number 1. And on Facebook, put in that search bar, Pop Poncho, you will see our profile pictures. And I tell you what, if you want to get with us, leave us a voicemail, maybe throw us a text message. Our number is 731-300-6675.
Well, that's going to do it for us this week. Be sure to catch us next week. And until then, this has been Josh Brawley and Richard Mulligan saying thanks and good night.